We are excited to have Paige and Lydia interviewing Mr. McAllister and Mr. Weller today. Mr. McAllister has been the head of organizing the buildings for the district. Mr. Weller is the building superintendent from Hammond Construction, who oversees everything with our new school. Let's head on over to see what we can learn about the new Lake Elementary.
So how many rooms does the new building have?
Okay, the new Lake Elementary building is going to be about 140,000 square feet, and it'll house grades 2 through 6, and there will be 10 regular classrooms per grade level, and each grade level is going to have about 2 extended learning areas and an assortment of several small group instruction rooms. Beyond the academic spaces, there'll be a cafetorium that will have the capability of seating about 500 people for evening programs and presentations. The intent is during lunch for that to seat about 300 students. There's 2 art rooms, gymnasium, which will house 2 full-size gyms. It'll be used by our students not only during the day but after school. And offices for the administrative staff, guidance counselors, of which there'll be 3 assigned to the building, and 3 outdoor learning spaces as well.
Very interesting.
Our Blue Street broadcast team is taking our show on the road today.
We are taking a tour of the new Lake Elementary School that we will be attending next year.
We are here with Mr. McAllister to find out how the progress of our new building is going. Come on in.
Okay, this is the art rooms. There's 2 obviously. There'll be a collapsible wall in between these 2. So this will be Ms. Stagner and Ms. Sousa. They can open that collapsible door and do work together, or they can keep it closed depending upon the activity that they're doing that day. This will be a hard surface floor. And what's really neat is if you'll look over here, the windows obviously, and there's an outdoor learning area here. Okay? So this will be finished. There'll be areas to be seated and stuff like that, so when the weather permits, you guys will actually be able to go outside and do some learning experience and things like that.
What is the biggest room in the new school and what will it be used for?
I would have to say the biggest room is the gymnasium, and as John mentioned, it will be used for students during the day and for athletics in the afternoon, and I believe at some times open for community use as well. So it'll have a wood floor and 1 full court basketball court and 2 cross court.
How many workers are working on the new building?
I have to take this one.
Yes.
So currently we have about 60 workers each day working in the building. When we were at our peak during the summer, we had about 85 workers every day, and we'll probably continue at that pace through the end of the summer.
What new technology will students have access to?
When we passed the bond issue in 2015, part of that bond issue involved providing students with one-to-one connections to the internet. So every student will have access to an internet device. Along with that, every classroom will have an amplification system, which helps with sound levels and things like that. Beyond that, every classroom will have an interactive monitor, which is similar to what we've had in the past, our smart boards, but it's more high definition and more like a TV monitor. And there will also be a monitor installed along the walls in each classroom too, which helps sight lines for students. Like I said, we'll be able to have all 3 groups performing at the same time, and the noise, the acoustics in here will prevent the noise from interfering with what's going on in the other classrooms.
What material have you guys used so far?
Well, there's several materials in the building. The ones that we've used the most, I would have to say, would be concrete. There's concrete foundations and concrete slabs, floors that you walk on. There's also a lot of steel in the building and a lot of masonry in the building. That's what holds the building up. And there's also what you see from the outside. The brick is what we refer to as masonry. And of course a lot of glass that you can see from the outside as well.
4th and 5th will be upstairs, and we'll go up there. And in 6th grade, it's going to be back down this way, and it's going to be kind of segregated from the other grade levels. Okay? Somebody had mentioned something about the murals that were designed by the art class. One of those murals will be placed right here, and the second one will be put on the second floor, basically right above us. And those were designed by students. If you look out here, you can see the 3rd outdoor learning area I was talking about. Okay, so that'll be all landscaped around there, and a place where classes can go out there. Should be very cool.
How much money has it cost to build Lake Elementary?
Right now we have budgeted just over $30 million. And again, that's part of the project that was passed in the district. That basically we'll see the remodeling of every classroom in the district. So there'll be a complete renovation at Uniontown, and that'll house our pre-K through 1 building. Obviously, the 2-6 years new. An expansion on the middle and high school, which will house our 7 through 12 students, and that'll include about 120,000 square new feet and 65,000 square feet of renovated space.
Approximately how many days has it taken to build?
Well, we started in the fall of 2016 with an early site package. As you probably remember, there was athletic field, youth athletic field, where the building currently is. So we did an early site package to get that area ready for a new building that was in, like I said, fall 2016. Then we started last March, a year ago, with actual construction of the new building, and we'll finish, by the time we're completely done, will be October of this year. So that's 20 months there, so 4 months of early site and 20 months of construction, about 24 months, about 2 years.
What is your favorite part of the building?
That's a great question. You know, as I think of a building, I think of all the neat and innovative spaces that are going to be available to our students. Obviously, the art rooms are going to be outstanding. The cafetorium is going to be a great area for not only eating but presentations. The gymnasium is going to be a facility that we haven't had an opportunity to have in the district prior to that. But when it comes right down to it, the favorite spaces for me are the academic spaces. And the classrooms, they're open, a lot of natural light. Air quality is a big issue with air conditioning and those type of things. Sound's a big issue, so all the rooms will be carpeted. And all the rooms will feature different types of seating as well. So the students will have the opportunity to sit in the type of furniture that best suits them. Along with that, all of our classrooms will be adjacent to extended learning areas. It'll have soft furniture and things like that. So just the openness of the classroom and how they're designed to facilitate engagement for the students and also collaboration amongst their students.
What has been the most difficult part of the building project so far?
I would have to say there's an area right off of the cafeteria called the collaboration stairs. It's really a grand staircase that will serve as a potential learning area or additional seating for the cafeteria or maybe a presentation area. But there's just a lot of work and a lot of different types of trades and materials that go into that collaboration stair. And we know it's going to be a focal point of the building when we're done, so we're working very hard to make sure that it's perfect when we're done with it.
How did the little blue streaks get on the windows, and who thought of that?
Pass that off to you.
Well, I can't take credit of thinking for it. I don't know that you can either. That would have been the project architect, I believe, that came up with that idea. And so those little blue streaks, lightning bolts, that's called frit on the glass. And not to get into too much detail, but it's etched into the glass during the manufacturing process, and it's actually on the glass is 2 panes, one on the inside and one on the outside. So those lightning bolts that you see, if you could feel the inside of the glass, you could feel them, but from the outside that you can actually touch, it seems like nothing's there.
If someone want to build schools one day, what would they need to do?
Well, to me, that's a great question. You know, when I look at this process, it actually started almost back in 2014 when administrators and community folks in the district recognized the need for upgrading our facilities. So that led to a campaign, passage of a bond issue. Then you partner with not only an architecture firm but also a building firm, and you do a lot of planning before you do anything in terms of the construction process to determine what type of facilities you're going to design. So it's a long process, and it involves a lot of different stakeholders. And I guess the simplest answer I'd have, if it actually comes down to just wanting to build schools, probably your best pathway would be in the area of architecture.
I got to put a plug in for construction manager.
There you go. There you go.
So stay in school. That'd be one piece of advice.
And to Ryan's point too, the architect designs the building. The builder actually implements the design of the building. So, okay.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.
We can't wait to be in our new building next year.
Thank you.